Are you buying or selling? Of course. Take care.
You've been here before, haven't you? Aye, I remember. It was back in the day when we only had to worry about the blackened skies and the benighted earth, and not this new evil in between.
The bearer of the burning quill is within, my lord. Prithee enter.
Fleshed 100 skins today.
Stay focused, will you? One slip with that scraper and the hunter's hard work will be for nothing.
This is hide unlike any I've had the pleasure of.
Blessings of the Phoenix be upon you, Lord Rosfield. I too serve.
Stand back, friend. You don't want to get this.
This is the Required Tree, an archive where we of the Undying can collate our findings.
The Undying are not the only secret fellowship in this realm, you know. There are others, each working for their own ends. Why, not so very long ago, a society...
An ether flood, yes, and not a stone's throw.
How are those new boots treating you?
If the people of Tabor had not...
A clock. You must be Lord Rosfield.
Thank you for the beer, mister.
Here's the scraps you were after.
Thanks. Can't do without leather if I'm to polish this stuff.
News has reached us of the black bulk that soars over the strait. Lord Cyril has ordered our survey teams to investigate it forthwith. It would seem that your battle is coming to a head, my lord. I pray that you and your brother will emerge victorious. May the Firebird's flame burn ever in your hearts, and guide you back home safely.
Lord Marquis, if you have a moment.
What is it, Cyril?
One of our brethren lately journeyed across the strait in order to pursue a new avenue of inquiry in our ongoing investigation. He sent an owl some while ago, but we have heard naught from him since.
Was he surveying another fallen ruin?
No. The object of his study was a savior cult that has arisen in Ash in recent years. We believe it may have some connection to the Circle of Malleus, an ancient religion that worshipped Ultima as its god. By gaining an understanding of this new faith, we hoped to learn more of the Circle's original beliefs.
And so you sent one of your brothers to Ash? A continent teeming with orcs and Akashic?
Fully cognizant of the risks, yes. I entrusted the mission to one of the most able of our order, the Third Chair, a master of the arts of combat and survival both. Though he has been silent for some days now, I have thus far refrained from sending any others in search of him, lest they be lost in turn. Yet, it seemed only right to inform you of the situation, given your unique experience of the perils of Ash. For as you so earnestly advised me, it would not do to abandon a man to his fate, when he might yet be saved. So be it. Lord Marquis?
What is...
Well, he said... Was no, and but... Yet... For...
It would not. But Ash is a big place. Can you be any more specific?
Perhaps. The last owl I received from him mentioned a village where he had heard the cult were wont to assemble. Mickleburg was its name. It lies in the southern reaches of Waloed. If aught ill befell him, I expect it did so there.
Right. I'll see what I can do.
You are much too kind, my lord. Go then, with my hopes, and may the Firebird's flame ever burn in your heart. When last I heard from him, the third chair was bound for Mickleburg. If you mean to seek him out, my lord, I can think of no better place to start.
News has reached us of the Black Bulk that...
So then, Torgal, how do you feel about a trip to Ash? We have a third chair to find. Assuming he's still alive.
The bearer of the burning quill is within my...
Ready, go? This must be Mickleburg. You deserve a rest. These people aren't turned. And the village seems safe enough at least. What is going on here?
Ah. Did you, too, heed the call?
Heed the call? No, I came here looking for someone. To be honest, I wasn't sure I'd find him here. Let alone all of you.
Is that so?
What are you doing here? Is this where you live?
It is my home. The others, they heeded the call.
You keep saying that. What do you mean?
They came here to perform the rite, just as King Barnabas instructed. This village is their altar, where they shall cast their souls upon the gentle waters and give themselves to the Lord.
Give themselves?
Oh, Lord, cleanse us of our sins.
Let us be reborn in your loving arms.
Free us from the torment of this mortal realm.
They want to be saved. Forgive me, but did another foreigner like me come here? He was probably wearing a cowl.
You mean the traveler from Storm? Yes. He's staying at my house, toward the rear of the village.
Thank you. If you don't mind, I'll go and greet him. They seek the same salvation Barnabas did. At least the third chair is still alive. Let's go and find him.
Let us be made pure.
Bring us salvation.
Let us be made divine.
Your friend with the cowl has been staying with me. Please, make yourself at home too, traveler.
Excuse me. Are you with the Undying?
I am. And so it would appear, are you? Lord Rosfield, if I am not mistaken.
That's right. And you must be the third chair.
I am.
Cyril was worried for your safety. He sent me to find you.
Then I must apologize. I did not mean to trouble the bearer of the burning quill. Much less you, my Lord Marquis.
He said that you had failed to report. Is there a reason for that?
I came here to study the followers of this new faith. But the more I learned of them, the more my own faith began to falter. You have seen them at their prayers, have you not? They devote themselves to the veneration of their Lord with a fervor I have never seen before. Praying night and day that they might be rid of their wicked wills and reborn in their Saviour's light. Not that they might be granted respite from their worldly woes, but so that they might continue to serve him. Serve him with all of their beings. I, too, swore to devote my life to the service of my Lord and Master, but this... 'tis different. It is more. And so I would see it through to the end. See these people safe, that they might achieve their dream. That they might do their duty to their Lord. Even if it should keep me from doing my duty to mine.
You do understand what their dream is, don't you?
I do, my lord. They would cast aside their wills and become Akashic. I know that it may be hard to believe, but to these people, that is the very essence of salvation. Forgive me, my lord, but I must remain here. If you are to return to Master Cyril, I would consider it a great... Did you hear that, my lord? Something is happening.
I'll go and find out what. Stay here. Beneath the flood. Oh no. There must be something I can do. Echoes as well. Found her. Come on, over here! What now? We meet again. I've killed your kind before. Nice try. I'm hurt, Toro. don't you die. Come on, speak to me.
I had to save them, that they might have a chance to find true salvation. By devoting themselves to the service of their Lord. Just as I did, when the Undying plucked me from the gutter and gave me a cause to believe in. A duty to serve was everything to me, and I would not deny them that fulfillment, even if they must become a Kashik in order to achieve it. Forgive me, my Lord Marquis. I did not mean to trouble you with this. My findings. Could you deliver them to Master Cyril for me?
Of course. Your duty will be done.
Look, my lord. They are saved.
They are saved. Found her. I should get this report to Cyril.
Ready, go?
All right. Thanks, Gal.
The bearer of the burning quill is within, my lord.
News has reached us of the black bulk that soars over the
My Lord Marquis, welcome back. I am glad to see you hale and whole.
I met with your third chair, Cyril. He bade me deliver his findings to you.
Thank you, my lord. He remained in Ash?
He died protecting the villagers from an echo. I buried him in Mickelberg. I'm sorry that I couldn't save him.
If you could not save him, no one could.
The villagers, they were believers in this savior cult. They prayed to their god that they might be unburdened of their wills. Then an ether flood came, and their wish was granted. Your brother sacrificed himself that they might live, even knowing that that life was death by another name.
Then he perished defending liberty. A hero's end. For the right to choose how one dies is no less sacred than the right to choose how one lives.
Sid would agree. He wanted to build a world where people could die on their own terms.
A noble ambition. To die for one's cause is the most perfect expression of one's faith. It matters not how misguided others might judge one's decision to be. Only that the decision is one's own. We live according to the teachings of our order. We believe in them, we protect them, and yes, we die for them. For better or worse, that is our creed.
But he didn't die for your creed. He died to save them, and you still believe that what he did was right.
I believe that he believed it was. We of the Undying are not slaves, but willing servants. And this was his will, the ultimate expression of it.
All right. I'd like to know this man's name, Cyril. To know the names of all the Undying who've fallen in the line of duty. They died serving my house. It's only right that I remember them. That is my duty.
Of course. I shall fetch the Book of Martyrs at once. My lord, it has been, and shall ever be, the greatest honor of my life to serve House Rosfield. Though our duties may differ, yours is no less important. I pray with all my heart for your success. And were they here, I have no doubt but that every one of my fallen brothers and sisters would feel the same. Have the Book of Martyrs fetched from the requiratory forthwith, my lord. But prithee, do not let me keep you should you have more pressing matters to attend to. The volume will be waiting for you when you next return.
The Third Chair's report is a treasure trove of information regarding the beliefs and traditions of the Circle of Malleus. Considering the Circle's connections to Ultima, it will surely be an invaluable resource in divining his true nature. Our brother did his duty well.
The bearer of the burning quill is within, my lord.
Blessings of the Phoenix be upon you, Lord Rosfield.
The bearer of the burning quill is within.
The third chair's report is a treasure trove of information regarding...
My lord, I have the Book of Martyrs, should you wish to inspect it.
I would. Thank you. Delan. Kite. These aren't Rosarian names. I thought the Undying were drawn from the Duchy.
We are. But our order works from the shadows. We choose new names that our origins might remain secret. I chose Cyril. The others, the names recorded therein.
I see. Well, if these are the names they chose, these are the names I'll remember. Thank you again, Cyril. I'm in your debt.
As I am in yours. Fare you well, my lord. And may the Firebird's flame burn ever in your heart. The Undying are at your service, my lord. Both in a figurative sense and in a literal one. And so, I must confess, for we are servants of the Phoenix. So go, my lord. Go safely, my lord.
The third chair's report is a treasure trove of information.
This is the Required Tree, an archive where we, the Undying, collect and collate our findings.
The Undying are not the only secret fellowship in this realm, you know. There are others. not forget this kindness, my lord. I shall go to Eastport.
What's on your mind, Clive? Right.
What is it this time, Torgal?
Clive. Coin purse weighing you down? Is that all? Aye, it's a dangerous world out. Come again. Or don't. Still alive, are you? Ta-ra then.
Thank you, Karen.
You could do this too. Take care.
So what do I owe the honour? So, will it be?
Say what you will, Lady Karen has seen worse.
Pining for something, boy. What is it? What do you see out there? I never did ask where you got that anklet of yours.
From Sid, that's why. On the day he brought him home.
That long ago?
And you're only thinking to ask this now? Sid saw that the pup had a habit of gnawing on his leg, since you ask. Clap that there iron on him to keep him from doing it.
What was wrong, boy?
I'll take like as not. Must have been hard on the poor whelp losing his loving masters at such a young age. Doubly hard in being a frost wolf, torn away from his icons and all. Sid would always tell him, you want that iron gone, you find what it is you're looking for. I reckon what he were looking for was you.
I'm sorry, Torgal. Sorry for making you wait so long. Let's get that thing off you.
Doesn't sound like he wants it off.
Indeed. You miss Sid as much as the rest of us, don't you? You want me to go with you somewhere?
Quick, aren't you? Glad you've been paying attention.
Not nearly as much as you have, Lady Karen.
Aye, good thing and all. It's not like Gav would have kept him in nuts and rubbed his belly these past 10 summers.
Your kindness is appreciated. You've been a good friend to him.
Only because he doesn't talk back like the rest of you. Go on now.
Where to then, Torgal?
Oh! Be seeing ya.
Yep. You do what you need to do, Clive.
Aye, it's a dangerous world out there. What are you still here for? Go on, then. Do us proud.
Ah, you all right? You off, then?
All right, Torgal. Where are you taking me? I'm going to need a little bit more than that, boy. Do you have a better hint for me? Unless... you've already given me one. Back on the rear deck, you were looking west, toward Rosaria. Why don't we try the rookery? I haven't been to the island in almost 20 years. To Port Isolde, then. Fingers crossed the old mooring is still there.
Courage, Ifrit. The time is nigh, Ifrit. The hour fast approaches. My decision is made. You said it yourself. He must be stopped.
He must.
I await your word.
Do you think they'll come back?
Of course they will. It's just a big crystal.
Let's go. Run like the wind. Back to the stables, girl.
We thought we'd be fine in our village, but then the skies changed. The others, they...
It's all right. There's room enough for you both inside the walls.
The Imperials promptly quit their posts once word of the Dominion's fall came. Lord Rosfield hired us not long after to see the refugees safely inside.
It's still here. After all these years. A lot smaller than I remember. And you were a lot bigger. You might have to swim, boy. I wasn't being serious. This place hasn't changed at all. The rookery's right through those trees. Come on. Race you there? I bet I could still beat you. Here we are. This was our hideaway. Wasn't it, Torgal? Coming here helped me to forget who I was. Or wasn't. Prince, shield. Son his mother could love. Had I been any one of those things? Perhaps. What is it, boy? This is all from the castle. And Phoenix Gate. Did you bring these here? My sparring sword. Well, well. You never stopped looking for me, did you, boy? Thank you, Torgal. For never giving up. For never forgetting. Let's take this with us, shall we? So I don't forget either. That's not the way back to the boat, Torgal. All right. I'm coming. I think I know where we're going. People always talk about the importance of putting the past behind you. But without it, we wouldn't be who we are today. And we certainly couldn't steer our way to a better tomorrow. Come on, Torgal. Let's go home.
First the skies, then the crystal.
Something tells me this is no mere adventure story.
How may I help you today, Clive? Here you are. Best of luck out there, Sid.
What a word. I know you'll do right by us, Clive.
Vivian, I read your note, and I'd be happy to help you find the book you're looking for.
Thank you, Clive. But tracking it down will not be easy. Are you sure?
Please. You have always granted me your wisdom and insight whenever I asked. It's only right that I return the favor. Or at least attempt to.
You are too kind. Alas, what I ask of you is rather more trying than delivering the odd lecture. I spoke with Harpocrates to see if he had any inkling as to where another copy might be found, but perhaps it is best that you hear the details from him.
If you say so.
Forgive me, Clive, for asking this of you. But this book, it set me on the path to becoming who I am today. Its importance cannot be overstated. Clive, Harpocrates knows of the tome I seek. Whether what he has to say makes you happy to have agreed to help me is another matter. Till next you need me.
Somewhere, Sid. Can we come?
Ah, Harpocrates. There's something I need to ask you. I've been charged with locating a book called From a Distance.
Then you seek a rare gem indeed. One whose name I had not thought to hear from your lips. You've been talking to Vivian.
Right as always. But she didn't seem keen to tell me very much. I take it she didn't like what you had to say.
And yet I gather it did naught to dissuade her. Clive, if the young professor has tasked you with obtaining a copy, I fear she asks the impossible. The executors would not allow it.
The executors?
Coveters of Secrets. A clandestine organization committed to the collection and intenebration of forbidden texts and technologies. One such text being the tome Vivian seeks, chronicling as it does the true history of the enslavement of bearers, a tale which could overturn the established order were it ever to become widely known. Or, so rumor has it. I've never actually read the thing, or even set eyes on it for that matter.
How is it that I haven't heard of this organization?
Why, secrecy is the executor's watchword. They lurk in the shadows, emerging only to seize that which must be seized, be it books, inventions, or people, before disappearing again, leaving nary a trace.
Which would explain why Vivian's copy was snatched from her grasp not long after she found it.
By the hand of the executors, yes.
But what drives them? Self-interest or ideology?
A fine question. Sadly, all that is known of the executors can be recounted in a single breath. You may just as soon ask me of their origins, numbers, or the identities of their leaders. Any answer I give would be pure speculation.
Then my hunt was doomed from the first. What was Vivian expecting? That I'd pluck it from thin air?
Not from thin air, no. From ash. Rumors of the executors are rife among the scholars of Storm, but rather less so across the strait. I have a friend. Well, I had a friend in the village of Garnick, a collector of rare tomes, upon which subject we would oft correspond. Alas, I have heard naught from him since the skies fell dark. And no doubt he, too, has turned. But, though he did not mention it by name, it is possible that a surviving copy of From a Distance yet rests upon one of his many shelves, quietly awaiting discovery. If you were, by some chance, able to save even a single book from the poor man's library, I know his soul would rest easier.
Very well. When I next find myself in Waloed, I'll be sure to pay Garnick a visit.
Good morrow to you, my friend. Having never visited, I make no I have a few new notes that might interest you. What subject shall we consider?
Let's go. This might take a while. The entire village looks abandoned. Now, which house would a bookworm live in? His interests were certainly varied. This is a Royal Army logbook. Did he take this from the local barracks? This is it. But if what it says is true, I need to get this back to the hideaway.
Leaving so soon, stranger? We've been watching you. From a distance, so to speak.
Subtle. I know who you are.
Then we need not waste time on introductions. Hand me the book. Leave it in our care and return to your life.
Your care? Do you mean to burn it, or bury it?
That is not my decision to make. But by one means or another, its contents shall be removed from the common record.
Then I'll have to politely refuse. I won't let you erase our history.
Then we find ourselves at an impasse. Very well. The book can just as easily be pried from your dead hand.
Let's see, shall we?
Impressive. But we have other means. We shall claim the book yet.
Why do you want it so badly anyway?
It lays out in no uncertain terms the vanity and avarice of mankind. It tells the shameful history of the persecution and oppression of a gifted few by a giftless many. Would you say that this interpretation was correct?
I don't know.
You don't know. Your sword may be sharp, but your wits are dull. So let me answer for you. There is no correct interpretation of history. That a series of events took place may be proved beyond a doubt. But there can be no single, immutable explanation as to why they came to pass. It is a question of numbers and of belief. If enough people believe that a set of events occurred for a reason, that belief becomes the truth.
So you're trying to control the truth?
We are trying to protect people from themselves, from knowledge that would bring them naught but pain. That is all. You may keep the book, for now. The world is small. We shall meet again. Until then.
Wait! Damn it. Let's get this back to Vivian. Perhaps she can explain what that was all about. Vivian. I found it. The book you lost.
You found it. Thank you, Clive. Even though I asked this of you, I was not entirely sure it would be possible. I feared the executors had seized every copy.
I met with one of these executors, and I convinced him to let me keep it. He told me something. That the truth is just a matter of collective belief. And that if enough people believe a lie, that lie becomes the truth.
It does. But it also means that the truth is not immutable. That it can be changed. Provided that those who wish to change it can convince enough people that their perspective is the correct one. As the sad history of the bearers proves.
You said that the book inspired you to become a scholar.
It did. Or its author, rather. She was a heretic, you see. A firebrand and a dissenter. A gallows stood ready for her in every corner of the realm. And by shunning society, or perhaps being shunned by it, she stumbled upon a truth so potent that an entire realm trembled at the prospect of its utterance. I, too, have always felt somehow set apart from the world of men. A stranger to my own species. She taught me that my solitude was not a curse, but a gift. And that, though my journey to the truth might be a lonely one, what I found at my destination would be more than worth the cost.
Do you still feel that way? That you're not one of us?
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure anymore. Since coming to the hideaway, I find my thinking somewhat clouded. Perhaps the result of studying mankind from a rather closer perspective than I had intended. But the more I study, the more I find value in this perspective. In looking not from the outside, but from within. So if you'll permit me, I'd like to continue my work here. Remember, Clive, when enough people believe, belief begets truth. Give the men and women of this benighted world the gift of truth. Make them believe in you, as I do.
I'll try, Vivian. I'll try. It's usually me making demands of Hippocrates. I wonder what this is about. Lawsman Hippocrates. I received your note.
Ah, yes. I expect you're wondering what this is all about.
You spoke of making amends with Dion, but I can't imagine what for.
Then I should begin by telling you that I was once his tutor. This was some years ago, of course, before I joined Sid in his hideaway. At that time, I was counted among the foremost scholars of Oriflamme, and was accordingly invited to the palace to supervise the young prince's education, all to ensure that the future emperor had a firm grounding in, well, everything an emperor should. History, religion, commerce, government. Alas, our time together was cut short when Dion left to join the Dragoons, his studies no longer being deemed necessary. I had not expected to meet with him again, least of all here.
Have you spoken with him?
No, I have yet to find the right moment. His Highness always seems so preoccupied, especially when alone. I would not wish to disturb his ruminations with idle words of greeting, not when I know he dwells upon the evil Ultima had him commit in the Dominion.
The guilt weighs heavily on him, I know. But as you say, that was Ultima's doing. Surely you can't blame yourself.
When I first met him, it was not guilt, but his people's expectations that weighed heavily upon him. And I did nothing to ease that burden. He bore it alone, until the day he could not bear it any longer. It is one of my greatest regrets that I only ever offered him my wisdom, when what he truly needed was friendship. The blame for Dion's transgressions lies not only on his shoulders, but on mine.
I see. I'm ready to help you in any way that I can.
Then I beg that you bring me a wild wyvern tail. Apothecaries across the ages agree that even to glimpse such a flower is to be granted inner solace. Fabulists and fraudsters all, of course. But there is oft a seed of truth to be found where even the most outlandish opinions align.
Well, it can't hurt to try. Where can I find this flower? And how will I know it?
You have seen cultivated wyvern tails before, I trust. The lily-white blossoms from whose roots the poisonous ink for the brand is distilled. Well, those which grow in the wild differ only in their purple hue. The harsher the environment in which they are raised, the deeper the colour. There is a waterfall in Rickmal's roost across the strait, where the flowers once grew in abundance. Whether they still survive there, I know not. But try as I might, I can find no likelier location.
It's all right. I'll find you a wyvern tail one way or another.
Thank you, Clive. And please, be safe. Good morrow to you, my friend. Despite scouring the shelves, I have found only one reliable reference to a place where wild wyvern tails are known to have grown. But it is in Waloed, by a waterfall near Rickmal's roost, as I told you. I dare not ask that you undertake such a long and perilous journey on my account, of course, but were you to find yourself in the area? Thank you for indulging an old man.
Clive, if you're gonna buy something, be quick about it. Is that all?
The hour fast approaches. Make ready.
Let's go. Time to fight. Seems this place has been flooded twice over. Purple flowers blooming next to a waterfall. Shouldn't be too hard to find. Slow.
Help me, boy.
Here they are. Might as well pick enough for a bunch, I suppose.
Let's go. Faster!
That'll do, girl. Harmon's madness lives on.
Too slow. Over here! Over here!
Rest in peace. lawsman. I found the flowers you were looking for.
You did?
I think I did.
You did indeed. My dear boy, thank you.
You wanted to make Dion a gift of one, did you not? Shall I invite him to join us?
Oh, I don't...
It's no trouble. I'll go and fetch him.
Knowledge hoarded is knowledge lost. Thank you again, Clive. Go safely.
Your Highness, would you do me the honor of accompanying me?
No. It is time, then.
No. Only to the shelves. Our lawsman has something he'd like to give you.
Master Harpocrates. No. I dare not show my face before him. Not after everything I have done. I have taken countless innocent lives. And ruined countless more. All because I was weak. I have sworn to atone for my crimes or die in the attempt. But were I to meet with him again, and see in his eyes what I have become, I fear that my resolve might falter.
Then that is all the more reason to do it. Test your resolve. Prove to yourself, and to him, how strong it truly is.
You are right. I must, at the very least, offer him my gratitude. Very well, then. Take me to him.
Follow me.
Even now, I hesitate to approach him. What must he think of me?
You'd be surprised.
Master Harpocrates, pray, accept my apologies for leaving your tutelage before my studies were complete. Your lessons opened my mind to a world quite unlike the one I had imagined from within the gilded confines of the palace. And I shall be forever grateful for the efforts you made to enlighten me.
Lift up your head, Your Highness. The deeds of youth require no apology. That you took the time to visit me says much about the man you have become. Now, there is something I would like to show you.
Is that a wyvern tail? The color is unfamiliar to me.
Because it is unique to those found in the wild. Something in the harsh environments in which they grow lends them this striking hue. Their roots are indistinguishable from those of their hothouse cousins, but once they bloom, the difference is immediately apparent. In this flower, I see you, Your Highness. Its roots were the roots of a wyvern tail, with all that implies. But they do not define it, just as yours do not define you. I want you to have it, that it might remind you of this truth.
Master Harpocrates, I would ask of you a service. Keep your gift until I have fulfilled my duty to the realm, for only then shall I be deserving of it.
As you wish, Your Highness. I shall await your return.
Our roots do not define us. No wonder my stepmother didn't like him. For reuniting me with memories I had thought long lost. I shall not forget this.
Thank you, Clive. Were it not for you, I fear I might never have found the right moment to speak with him. Not to mention the wyvern tales. I shall plant their seeds, that I might not disappoint His Highness upon his return.
I hope the soil in the hideaway is to their liking.
Why, these flowers bloomed in the bleak, black wastes of Waloed. I'm sure Nigel's yard will suit them to a T. When it comes to expressing one's gratitude, I find that words are seldom sufficient. Here.
What's this?
A stolas quill. Or more precisely, my stolas quill. 'Tis said that an owl's feathers are steeped in the wishes it hears over its long lifetime. All those words just waiting to pour out onto the page. So consider this my wish for you. That one day you may put down your sword and pick up that pen.
Well, when that day comes, I'll certainly have a lot to write about. Thank you, Harpocrates. It shall have pride of place in my chamber.
Good morrow to you, my friend. I well recall. He truly believed. It will take forgiveness from himself. Thank you for indulging an old man.
freed.
Your resolve didn't falter.
No. Though I continue to be bewildered by fate. And I should meet with my old tutor here, at the very end of the world. I thank you, with all my heart, for giving me this chance.
And I thank you for taking it.
Should like to look upon that flower once more, when I am worthy. I stand ready to leave for Origin at your word. May Grieger go with us.
And see us safely home.
The hour fast approaches. Alas, and yet... Make ready.
And how might I help the garrison today?
The garrison did away with posting guards here at the wall. Haven't seen any of those beastly blue eyes. Do be careful.
I will.
We won the battle, yeah, but those things will come back.
Ready, go?
Faster!
All right. straight home now. Time to fight. Fly, Ambrosia. Thanks, Gal. Not another one. This one. Help me, boy. Help me, boy. Over here. This one. Let's try. Help me, boy. To me, boy. Nice try. This one. Fool. I'm getting tired of these things.
Sanktfornian, do you? Should last you a good while. No scratches, right? That it? Fine.
You're the outlaw! The one who drove his highness to madness! On your knees!
He hasn't heard. And it doesn't look like he's willing to listen.
Only your death will serve! To me, boy! To me, boy! Help me, boy! To me, boy! I've heard Togo! There's a good boy! I've heard Togo! Help me, boy! I've heard Togo! Help me, boy! Help me, boy! To me, boy! Help me, boy! To me, boy!
Damn it. Dion would have been glad to have you back at his side.
Ah, Clive. This is it then, brother. Indeed.
You're wrong.
Of course.
Joshua, what's wrong? And don't say nothing.
It's not nothing. I've received word from Cyril. The Undying have found Father's will, or something akin to it.
His will? How and where?
In the crypt beneath Rosalith Castle. After Kupka was kind enough to drive out the Imperials, the Undying took the opportunity to recover what relics of the Duchy yet remained. And in the process of doing so, they found a letter from Father.
I'm surprised anything survived down there.
Cyril asked that I join him in Tabor at my convenience. I have been meaning to go, but would you join me?
Of course. I want to know what's in that letter as much as you do.
Very well. I am ready to leave when you are. Back to Tabor then. Not to be reunited with Yote this time, but with Father.
Oh, you all right? You off then?
Here, take a look at my wares. Take care.
Your Grace, my lord, I trust your journey was not overly onerous.
Cyril, you found a letter from Father?
Yes, I have it here. If you would do us the honor, my lord.
An inheritance.
It would seem the late Archduke penned this missive shortly before his passing.
The day before we left for Phoenix Gate.
What are these plans he spoke of?
His plans for the Duchy, Your Grace. Your father entrusted them to my predecessor, the former bearer of the Burning Quill, who entrusted them in turn to me. The complete emancipation of bearers is their stated aim. But your father's dream did not end there. His Grace also spoke of building hospices to care for those stricken by the curse, and the founding of a new university to further the development of non-magical technologies. With the blight spreading ever more widely across the twins, Archduke Elwyn saw this as the only means of securing Rosaria's survival.
He wished to see men and bearers treated as equals. To see centuries of common wisdom overturned. Small wonder he did not think it achievable within his lifetime.
But he thought it achievable nonetheless. Had he not, he would never have written this message. Nor would he have entrusted his vision to his most faithful aides, those who would have stood with you, shielded you from the machinations of the less benevolent personages at court.
It's a pity only they are still with us.
'Tis true that those most loyal to your father were the first to suffer the Duchess's wrath. But one at least remains, and she has come bearing gifts.
What do you mean?
Mayhap it is better that she explain, my lord. After all, the duties entrusted to me by my predecessor extended only to recovering His Grace's will and arranging a meeting with the one who might execute it, or a part of it at least.
And where is this woman?
She awaits you in the archive, Your Grace.
Thank you, Cyril. Shall we then?
Awaits you in the archive.
The third chair's report is a treasure trove of information.
The bearer of the burning quill is within. Lord, prithee enter.
This is the required tree, an archive where we of the Undying collect information.
The Undying are not the only secret fellowship in this realm, you know. There are others, each working for their own.
My lord, your grace. I hardly recognize you. I am Goditha, retainer of House Rosfield, loyal servant to the Phoenix and his shields. Your father, the Archduke Elwyn, entrusted me with the delivery of a gift. I only hope you can forgive my tardiness in bringing it to you.
Lift up your head, Lady Goditha. You have our gratitude for your service to our house and to our father.
I merely did my duty, as any proud Rosarian would.
My lady, perhaps you could explain a little more? What exactly is the gift you bring?
As I'm sure you know, it has long been the custom for the children of House Rosfield to be presented with certain keepsakes upon their coming of age.
Indeed it has. Our father often spoke of the day when our turn would come.
And had he lived to see it, he would have presented you with the treasures I bear. Matching armbands for you both. Alas, he did not live. Indeed, he was taken from us even before they could be completed. He had intended to claim the Heartstone with which each armband was to be finished himself, but it was not to be. And his gifts remain incomplete.
I see.
It saddens me to bring them before you, as they are. It was your father's wish that you be presented with the finished articles, not these, works in progress. But with his grace long since gone, and the stone left unclaimed, I had little choice. You are grown men now, and his house is yours. And while I would not presume to insist upon your claiming the Heartstone in his stead, I know that nothing would have pleased him more than for you to do so.
Thank you, Lady Goditha.
What say you, Clive?
What else? Of course, my lady. May our father's will be done.
Oh, I am much obliged.
Do you know where we might find this Heartstone, my lady?
I do. Though it may be a matter of a good deal more than simply happening upon it. It is found in the bellies of elder griffins, you see. We do at least know where to find one. A certain specimen has made its nest in Titan's Wake, not far from here.
A certain specimen?
You are most perceptive, Your Grace. In answer to your unspoken question, yes. In fact, this is the very same beast your father meant to slay. I have been tracking its movements since you were but a boy. Were you to slay it in his stead, as men of House Rosfield, it would surely make your father proud.
What say you, Joshua?
What else?
The griffin your father meant to slay is currently nesting in Titan's Wake, not far from here. Slay it in his stead, and claim the Heartstone that he could not.
Titan's Wake is to the south of here. But we must not be hasty. The good lady has been disappointed once already.
Our guest awaits you in the archive.
This might take a while. Eyes peeled, Joshua.
There it is. For House Rosfield. Over here! Now, Torvald!
Is this the Heartstone?
I expect Lady Goditha will know.
Our guest awaits you in the archive.
This is the required tree. An archive where we of the Undying...
Oh, thank the Founder you were safe. The Griffin is slain then?
And the Heartstone claimed.
Yes, this radiant luster like frozen flame. It is just as your father described it. Thank you, my lord. Your Grace. Your father would be so proud.
Lady Goditha, the lapidary is ready.
Thank you, Cyril. I will be with him shortly. If you would excuse me, I shall have the stone cut and set forthwith. The armbands are complete. Pray, take them. They are yours, after all. Heartstone is harder and more enduring than garnet, or even ruby. It symbolizes unwavering will and devotion. And the graven vines encircling the stone represent the unbreakable bonds between you.
It's a message. Father knew we had enemies both inside and outside the duchy. Enemies who would thwart his vision. Only with unwavering devotion would it ever be realized.
And only if we stood together, as Phoenix and Shield, as brothers in arms. Only then might those enemies be overcome.
Indeed. His Grace knew the enormity of the task he would entrust to you, his heirs. But this was more than just a message. It was a promise. That he would always be with you.
Thank you, Lady Goditha, for remaining the steadfast custodian of our father's will.
Forgive me, my lady, but there is something I don't quite understand. The Undying told me that after Father died, Mother claimed all of the ducal treasures for her own. Even if the armbands were incomplete, she would surely not have overlooked them. So, how were you able to keep them from her?
Because I was the keeper of the vault. Though I was but a lowly servant, your father spoke to me of his intentions for the bands, of the deep love he had for both of you, and his hopes for your future. In the days before the disaster at Phoenix Gate, I discovered that the Duchess had ordered her jewelry be sent away from the castle. It was then that I knew she meant to betray us. I tried to warn your father, but it was too late. When word of the fire reached Rosalith, I knew my time was short. So I took up the armbands and I fled into the night.
And thank the Founder you did.
Yet my duty to your father was incomplete. Not knowing what else to do, I followed the Griffin, thinking I might claim the Heartstone on its passing. And so my pursuit continued, until Lord Cyril appeared before me. He informed me that His Grace's will had been recovered, and that his sons were alive and well.
Lady Goditha, on behalf of my father and all the people of Rosaria, I thank you for your loyal service.
As do I.
Thank you, my lord. Your Grace, for coming back to us, for giving my service meaning. I remain your faithful servant, my lord.
bands suit you well. It must be gratifying to finally receive the inheritance that was denied you for so long.
It is. And we thank you for the part you played, Cyril.
If you would permit me to play my part a little longer, might I suggest that you make your way to your father's memorial atop Hawk's Cry Cliff? Let him see that you have received his blessing, and that his vision lives on in you.
I suppose it would be churlish not to. What do you say, Clive? Shall we pay Father a visit?
I think we should. I was hoping to be able to offer him my thanks before we left for Origin.
Your father's helm is enshrined there. It has been since the day we recovered it from Phoenix Gate. I prithee claim it, for it too is a part of your inheritance, and I do not doubt that your father would prefer it in your hands than perched upon some lonely rock.
Thank you, Cyril. Come on, Clive. He's waiting.
I remain your faithful servant, my lord.
We of the Undying erected a memorial to Archduke Elwyn atop Hawk's Cry Cliff. I am sure your father would be glad if you...
Unwavering will and an unbreakable bond. Do you really think we're strong enough?
To save the world? Of course. To have overcome Father's political enemies? Of that I'm less certain. Especially knowing what we know now. What Mother was truly capable of. But perhaps these bands would have helped. Knowing he was with us would have made all the difference.
It's just back there. Father always fought for what he believed was right. It wasn't until that night at Phoenix Gate that I realized I had never fought for anything. I always had someone else to do the fighting for me.
No matter how fate conspired against him, he never lost heart, never looked back, never stopped fighting. To me, he was the greatest of men. And I've been trying to live up to his ideals ever since.
We all have, Clive. We all have. And we'll keep trying. Because that's what he would have wanted.
What he would have done himself. Even if it meant standing against the very gods in the heavens.
I shall be borrowing this, Father, if I may. That you might watch over us as we follow in your footsteps.
We won't lay you down.
Onward, then?
Onward. To the end.
And to a new beginning. Brother, I put Father's helm in your chambers. He should be with you when his vision is finally realized.
Thank you, Joshua. For everything.
Don't mention it. Clive. His flame burns in your heart. You have but to say the word.
Huh.
Thank you, Uncle.
As for down here... Clive, my boy! Rutherford informs me that we owe you our thanks. Hadn't intended for you to get involved, but such are the times we live in, huh?
I would have done the same for anyone else.
You're far too modest, Clive. You'd make a terrible nobleman. But tell me, is the realm truly in as dire a state as Rutherford suggests?
From what little I saw, you were right to be worried.
I suppose I should have expected the worst. But I was rather hoping the great and good of the realm might have things a little more under control. Alas, it seems that firm leadership is in short supply these days, and without it, the people are bound to lose their way. We must move quickly.
But where do we start?
True, the challenges that face us are many. But in my estimation, there are two key areas to be addressed before any other. The realm's armies and her larders. As you've seen firsthand, it's every man and woman for themselves out there. Certain cities have banded together to try and maintain some semblance of order, yes? But such cases are few and far between. And yet, the only remedy for the chaos that faces us is unity. A unity that transcends even the borders laid down by our ancestors. In short, if Storm does not stand together, she will fall apart.
But how would one even begin to unite the realm?
The armies, my boy. As I told you already, we begin by restoring order among the ranks of those sworn to maintain it. Sadly, I doubt I could convince even the lowliest gaggle of privates to dig a latrine together. But I do know someone the High Commanders have been known to listen to on occasion. Field Marshal Eugen Havel.
I thought he was retired.
He was, until an Akashic army tore through Randalar and killed most of the rank and file.
There is no man alive more capable. Literally. And as luck would have it, I've already spoken with him on the matter.
Of course you have.
And he's agreed to help. On one condition. That he first speaks with you personally. Havel has always been a man of frustratingly rigid principle, and he has certain qualms about clasping arms with, well, with an outlaw. I extolled your many virtues as best I could, of course, but the old goat was adamant that he be allowed to appraise you in person. You don't mind, do you, my boy?
Of course not. As long as chaos reigns, we will never build a better world. I'll do whatever it takes. And if the Field Marshal wishes to speak with me in person, then so be it.
That's the spirit.
I'll leave for Randalar at once. Would you send a Stolas?
Of course. Rutherford is already in the Dalmekian capital. I'll have him tell Havel to expect you forthwith.
Excellent. Thank you, Uncle.
No. Thank you, Clive. Don't worry, my boy. Rutherford is in Randalar this very moment, singing your praises to all and sundry. They'll adore you.
Do you see that too?
There are many variations of the Zemeckis legend.
Oh, God. No one's going to buy a pot now.
Please. A piece of fruit.
Is it
Crust
true
of bread.
about Twinside? Those poor people.
Trade with the Dominion is the only thing keeping these markets afloat. Now that's finished.
I see you've met with Master Cyril. I too serve the Phoenix, my lord, though in an altogether more lowly capacity than the bearer of the Burning Quill. I came here to conduct inquiries into the true...
It hardly seems real. I keep expecting to see Theodore, waiting for me.
Look, everyone, just take what you need. Coin be damned.
Eloise is a strong woman. She'll get through this.
What am I to do?
Just between you and me, we lost
at the
contact with the forward camps a while ago.
Please. I've walked the length of the Crystal Road without a drop of water.
We'll bring you a skin.
The tables have turned.
After you tell us what happened in the Dominion.
The Dominion's gone, they're saying. All the islands sunk to the bottom of the sea.
Gilbert, the guards closed the gates. If they hadn't, we'd be down there too.
Have you seen what's washed up at our gates? Imperial nobles, no less.
I don't know whether to pity them for the trials they went through in Twinside, or to say it's their own bloody fault for stealing the city in the first place.
Well met. You're welcome anytime.
It's good to see you. When we fled our childhood home, I loved him. Did I tell you? That was what he wanted. No matter how hard it... The Dominion has fallen. The Crimson Caravans must set an example. It is our job to keep the hope alive. Come back soon, won't you?
I've never seen Miss-El cry before. Is Theo really gone then?
We'll make a home of Cashlock, however long it takes. It's what Theo would have wanted.
Do you have any fresh water? The well's been all but dry since the skies changed.
Barely a drop left for myself.
It's the end, isn't it? The gods have sent that thing to punish us.
That thing in the sky. It looks to me like a mother crystal, or at the very least some twisted reflection of one. But where did it come from? Has the spirit of its fallen cousins returned to haunt us?
Poor old Theodore. We may have been rivals in business, but I never wished him ill.
Who needs a porter when there's nowhere left to go?
Do you see that too?
There are many variations of the Zemeckis legend, but almost all agree that man was punished for presuming to set foot in the sanctum of the gods. Some describe it as holy, others heavenly, which is to say, of the heavens. Could it be that the baleful mass that now glowers over us is this very sanctum? Have the gods returned to pass judgment upon us once more?
It's not real. It can't be. I'm seeing things.
Papa, what keeps it in the air? Why doesn't it fall?
Don't you go tempting fate, girl.
What is it?
Don't ask me.
Please, just make it stop. Make it stop. I'm scared.
It's all right. I'm here.
Nothing good's gonna come of this, I'm telling you.
Just looking at it's enough to send a shiver down your spine.
Faster!
Rutherford can.
Turncoats and cowards, the lot of you! If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you shall have!
Allow me.
I don't need your...
Please, Field Marshal. Oblige him.
This won't take long.
You're right. It won't. Men, finish him.
A little longer than I'd have liked. Field Marshal Havel, I presume. Are either of you injured?
No, my lord. You arrived just as our escort turned on us.
Fucking traitors. I'd heard reports of soldiers in the outlying regions abandoning the oaths they swore. But I hadn't thought the corruption had reached so close to the heart of the Republic. It's a fucking disgrace. Your interfering old bastard of an uncle tried to warn me, of course. My lord Marquis. Or is Sid the Outlaw more to your liking?
Call me what you want. It doesn't change who I am. Or the urgency of the message I bring. My uncle has a plan to right the realm, and he needs your help to see it through.
Before I agree to anything, I'd have you answer one question. What do you stand to gain from all this?
I won't deny that I might benefit from further chaos. But I seek a new beginning for all of us. And while the choices I've made may not always have been the right ones, I know I made them for the right reasons. For so long, so many of us have been told how we could live, how we could die, when it should have been our decision all along. Now, we have a chance to put things right. But in order to take it, we must stand together. Even if it be beside those with whom we don't see eye to eye.
Certainly not the words I expected from an outlaw. But perhaps your uncle was right. You are no ordinary outlaw. I'll never hear the end of this. All right. I'll start by ordering my most trusted guard to bring the Dhalmekian fringes under control. Next, I'll make contact with my counterparts in the Imperial Army and see if I can't convince them to try and restore order in their own territory.
Thank you, Field Marshal.
But they are not the only ones we will need to convince.
What do you mean?
I don't doubt that I can bully some sense into a few generals. But those they answer to require a different kind of persuasion. And when it comes to honeyed words, well, we will need an envoy. One who can court even the most stubborn of statesmen. You, perhaps.
I'm flattered. But I'm no diplomat either. And I have other problems to attend to. What we need is a skilled arbitrator. And I may know just the person.
Is that so? And would he happen to be an outlaw too?
Of a different kind, perhaps.
Well, beggars can't be choosers. I suppose we'll all have to find a little of the outlaw in ourselves if we're to make it through this. Very well. Send your man to me right away.
I shall.
My Lord Marquis. Your Lord Uncle bade me escort the Field Marshal to his manor in Port Isolde.
And I will see that my associate joins you there.
Very good, my lord.
An envoy. I'm not sure I'm the man to talk anyone round. I can barely convince my brother to take his medicine. No. This is a job for someone with experience. Someone like Quentin. I hope I can convince him at least. Let's go. You deserve a rest.
I made sure our fallen comrades were laid to rest. And they can rest easy, knowing...
I'd have followed Quentin to that manor if I could have done, and I'll keep following him now.
Quentin's gonna build us new Lost Wing, and I'm gonna help.
Quentin, I have a proposal for you.
Do you now? Something tells me you'll be asking more of me than a cask of Gotand gold. Go on then. Propose. You'd have me convince the chiefs and chamberlains of the realm that they should simply swallow their pride and do the one thing that has proved impossible for thousands of years. Was there anything else? Perhaps I can fetch you a meat pie as well.
I know it's a lot to ask, but I can think of none better suited to the role.
And you'd have me give up what little I have left to do it. I told you, Clive. The people of Lostwing are my family, and I cannot abandon them. You'll have to find someone else.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So am I.
And why might that be?
What he's asking. How's it any different to what you've done so far? They want you to speak for those who can't speak for themselves. That's what you do best. If it's the vineyard you're worried about, we'll see that the grapes are picked and the tons filled. You know we will.
It's not that.
Then what is it? You said yourself we're family. Don't you trust us?
You know that's not what I'm...
Then what are you saying? That only we are worth saving? Why turn your back on everyone else? You convinced us we could build new lives for ourselves, and if you can do that, who's to say you couldn't convince the entire realm?
A stirring argument. I fear that any rejoinder I make might fall somewhat flat by comparison.
So you'll join us?
Where do you need me?
Field Marshal Havel will want to speak with you in person. He's currently in Port Isolde. I can arrange for a party of Cursebreakers to accompany you there.
That would be very much appreciated. I hear the roads are far from safe these days.
Hopefully not for long. My uncle will want to know that his plan is taking shape.
Any statesmen we speak with are liable to resist our entreaties if they feel that what little power remains to them is at stake. They must be dealt with skillfully.
Reckon Master Quinton could argue an egg back up a hen's quim if he set his mind to it.
Quinton's gonna build us new Lost Wing, and I'm gonna help.
We may be bruised, we may be battered, but
I made sure our fallen comrades were...
Uncle, I bring good news. The Field Marshal has agreed to your plan.
Ha! Of course he has. I didn't doubt you for a moment, dear boy.
Rutherford is accompanying him back to your manor in Port Isolde as we speak. They will await your return there. As will one other.
One other? Who, exactly?
Lord Havel was concerned that even if he could get the realm's armies to agree to an accord, he might not be as successful in convincing those with political power. He asked if I might have a solution, and I suggested a certain Imperial Lord Magistrate turned Liberator.
One of your co-conspirators?
Master Quinton would probably call me one of his, but yes.
Another outlaw, then. Just the thing we need to put these rotten politicos in their places. Good thinking, Clive.
I'm glad you approve.
The more the merrier, eh?
Uncle, assuming Havel and Quinton can solve our problem with the armies, you still haven't mentioned how we might manage the grain shortages.
Oh, don't you worry, my boy. The 7 high houses will be seeing to that. They have all agreed to make the most generous of donations. Oh, of course, it did take a little persuasion, but luckily I had some unexpected help.
From who?
Why, you, my boy. Rumor has it that you rescued the Lady Ariane's head steward Rockford from a horde of bloodthirsty bandits.
It was more of a handful.
Well, the old battle axe was so pleased. She had a shipload of talents delivered to my private docks by the next new moon. And when the other houses saw the parsimonious old crone's purse strings finally loosen, they as good as tripped over themselves in the rush to follow suit.
I'm happy to hear it.
Now, I must be getting back to the manor. Join us there at your earliest convenience, would you?
Of course, Uncle.
And how, pray tell, will we get that grain to the capital if the roads are still overrun with Akashic?
You find another bloody road. I only have so many men, and I'm not about to send them headlong into an ether flood. That is, unless you'd have them turn as well.
Well, I'd certainly eat less.
Says the man with a belly bigger than a band of curls. My soldiers actually need their rations. Without any food to keep them going, they'll be dead even before you've sent them on your fool's errand.
If I may, gentlemen, perhaps I might suggest an alternative approach. Though supply routes are indeed disrupted, there is no shortage of ships. Indeed, they bob away in every bay from here to Randalar, awaiting a safe haven. Allow them to make port and fill their bellies full of grain. And once those who crowd the cities are fed, ferry the displaced back to the countryside to work the fallow fields. But I'm sure that you wish to continue your discussion. Forgive the interruption. Two such firm friends as yourselves need no help from the likes of me. Rutherford spoke fondly of the great bond between you.
Us? Friends? I can't stand the man!
Clive, I'm beginning to question the quality of the company you keep.
And what kind of company were you expecting him to keep? The man's a criminal!
Criminal? How dare you? You are not fit to breathe the same air as this fine, upstanding young gentleman.
Upstanding? He calls himself Sid the Bloody Outlaw!
Once more onto the breach.
Shall we begin again? What we seek here is not to create a new nation, nor to claim the thrones of those that already exist. We wish simply to bring stability to the realm that mankind might weather the current storm. And to do that, we must convince those in power, the generals, the statesmen, the nobles, that our cause is just. There will be disagreements, yes, and I imagine some resistance, much resistance. But we cannot let that deter us. If we show them the path, show them that we walk it ourselves, then I am confident they will follow. The fate of the world lies in my nephew's hands, but the well-being of her people lies in ours. And we must not squander the chance that Clive has given us.
Uncle Byron,
Now, with that settled, let's move on to the signing of the Accord. For what great moment in history hasn't been accompanied by a little ceremony? Citizens of Valisthea, I present to you the Triunity. Rutherford, Mike Will. Well, my boy, the stage is set.
That it is.
This is the role you were born for. Now I ask only that you trust in the talents of your supporting cast. We shall play our parts to the best of our abilities, that you might have the opportunity to shine. The realm needs its Sir Crandall, and there is no better Crandall than you, Clive. I want you to keep this signed accord as proof of our faith in you.
I will. Thank you, Uncle.
Sorry, can't take you where you need to get to, but the Argo and me will be waiting with...
Ready, go? Yeah!
That'll do, girl.
I made sure our fallen comrades were laid to rest.
I'd have followed Quentin to that manor if I could have done, and I'll keep following him now.
Ah, Sid. What a pleasance of the night my family was taken. And for my folly, Our village is no... You see, I'll admit, a cunning stratagem. Until next we meet.
Do you see that too?
Papa?
What is it? Oh, please. Just make it stop. I'm scared.
It's all right.
Let's go. Run like the wind. Back to the stables, girl. Courage. Ifrit, make ready.
All is well, I trust? You have but to say the word.
I don't suppose you're here to reprise. Do you know why? 'Twas not 20 summers past. Your mother. But above all, and so you see. Well, don't do anything I wouldn't.